Nothing will make sense to your American ears.
You saw things you shouldn't have seen.
But in the end, you will understand.
Today, we have the movie for those who are tired of cliché films, who love movies that truly keep them in tension and tell a story from an unusual perspective. It's a thriller that's more than just a thriller, and it has a style and substance that is sadly far too seldom seen in cinemas these days. Sicario has dozens of film and actors nominations and awards. It's very carefully plotted and masterfully shot. Sicario was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and within his other great films led him to directing Dune, which first part was the best film of 2021, and the second one is already considered the best film of 2024. English lessons based on both parts of Dune are coming soon. If you don't want to miss them, subscribe to the channel and continue practicing interesting and engaging English lessons while watching the movies together. Sicario is a thriller based on a military operation and the war of drug cartels. That's why you will hear a lot of expressions people in military use. But we're gonna focus mostly on general vocabulary for your daily practice. Watching Sicario in English is not easy, but we are going to make it easier for you. The vocabulary in the film is level C1 and C2 with a lot of idioms. We will learn 10 idioms today. Also words and phrases. You will learn the idiom meaning first and then hear the expression in the movie along with a brief review afterwards to have a better understanding of the dialects. Ready? Let's get started. One of the defining features of Sicario is its approach to character introduction and development. The film begins by introducing us to Kate Mesa, portrayed by Emily Blunt, an idealistic FBI agent specializing in kidnapping cases. Kate's character is established through her involvement in a raid and a drug cartel safe house in Arizona where hostages were kept, tortured and murdered.
Get down! Get down! Where are the hostages? Where are the hostages?
Hostage is a word of level C2, someone who is taken as a prisoner by an enemy in order to force the other people to do what the enemy wants. It's used in the expressions to be taken, be held hostage by someone, and the expression seize a hostage, which means to capture and hold people. Unfortunately, they couldn't save anyone because all hostages had been killed by that time already, and on top of that, a few agents died in the explosion. The brutal and unexpected violence of this opening scene immediately thrusts viewers into the harsh realities of the drug war, while also highlighting Kate's courage and determination.
What's going on?
No idea.
We experience the story through Kate's experience, who, like us, has no idea what is going on after the raid. Agents talk about Kate. To describe her character, they use the idiom put through grinder and the idiom not blink.
Put someone through grinder, mill, ringer, means to cause someone to have a difficult and unpleasant experience, especially by asking them a lot of difficult questions.
As you see, this idiom has 3 variations. Put someone through grinder, mill, or rina. Rina is an old school name for a washing, pressing machine which is not used anymore. You are not likely to hear this variation in modern English. This is our blink. People blink more often when they are confused or shocked. That's why the idiom not blink means not to show any shock or surprise.
She's been leading our kidnap response team for 3 years. Put her through the grinder since she got here and she hasn't blinked.
How well do you understand that sentence? Which variant is correct? A. They gave her a hard time, but she showed no fear. B. She successfully managed difficult operations. A is correct. Put someone through grinder is to give someone a hard time. She didn't even blink. She didn't show any shock or fear.
She's in the front line.
So she's a thumper.
Today was her 5th OIS.
They call her a thumper. If you thump someone, you attack them and hit them with your fists. So it's a synonym to the word fighter. There are a lot of military-related abbreviations in the film. OIS, I believe, means Officer Involved Shooting, but I can be wrong. If you know what the abbreviations mean in the movie, please help us out in the comments section.
5-0, not bad for a rookie. She never worked cases?
Been kicking doors since day one.
So, her rating is not bad for a rookie, they say. Rookie is a person who is new to an organizational activity. So now we know she just started a few years ago.
I like her already. What about the partner?
Did a tour in Iraq, got his law degree from UNC.
No lawyers on this train. Just give me the girl.
They do not want Kate's partner because he has a law degree. Does this mean they operate by omitting rules and not following the law? The next idiom in the film is to do something by the book.
Do something by the book, go by the book, means exactly as the rules tell you.
He did this by the book, right?
Come on, of course.
So what Kate's partner is asking her exactly? We followed all the procedure, right? Or we completed the operation, right? Any procedure is made by the rules. To follow the procedure or to do something exactly as the rules say means go by the book. So Kate and her partner think they are going to be questioned because they did something wrong.
Quite a fine today. The loss of 2 officers notwithstanding.
Yes, sir.
They lost 2 officers, notwithstanding, the officer says. Why he added this long word, notwithstanding? This word is a level C1, synonym to in spite of the fact or despite the thing mentioned. So he said there was a quite fine that day, which was a success. But despite that success, they lost 2 officers. An example, notwithstanding some members' objections, we must go ahead with the plan. Meaning, even though some members had objections, despite some objections, we must go ahead with the plan.
How familiar are you with Manuel Diaz's operation?
Turns out, Kate was wrong about the reason they were gathered. It was not about what happened, but about what is going to happen.
Wow.
His cousin is Fausto Alarcón.
I don't know who that is.
No one does. He's off the grid.
They question her about the cartels and the drug dealers' family members. One of them is off the grid. The general meaning of this expression is not to be connected by electricity or any utilities. Like, if a house doesn't have light, it might be off the grid. The same meaning is used when you say it's about a person. It means that person is untraceable. He doesn't have social media connections, bank accounts, insurance by his name, anything that can lead to him.
Who are those people, you know?
No idea.
They ask Kate to join the operation and help them find the man responsible for those crimes.
This is Matt Graver. He'll be leading the team.
We're expanding the scope of the investigation a bit.
They need her because they are expanding the scope of investigation. Expand means to make it bigger, to increase in size. Scope is the word of level C1, synonym to the word range, which means it covers a particular subject, area, problem, or years, distance, anything. So as they talk about the area, he means they increase the area of the search.
You'll act as a liaison.
What does that mean?
They need an agent with tactical experience like you.
She will be their liaison, which means the link between something, the person who helps in communication between groups. From this moment, it started looking very suspicious to me. Why do they need an agent from a totally different department to help them communicate better?
My bird dog over there, Alejandro.
Kate's introduction is contrasted with the mysterious and unsettling entrance of Alejandro Klick, portrayed by Benicio del Toro. Audiences were particularly struck by Benicio del Toro's performance as Alejandro. Matt calls him a bird dog. It means he has skills of a very well-trained dog who hunts birds. In our case, criminals. In slang meaning, this expression means to steal someone's date. If you have ever stolen someone's date, you can call yourself a bird dog. Alejandro's first appearance is particularly enigmatic. He is seen as a quiet, brooding figure with a haunted past, and his true motives remain obscured for much of the film. They join a heads-up meeting where different military forces are gathered together to conduct the operation. The next expression that is used in the dialogue is gear someone up.
Gear someone up for something means to prepare for something that you have to do.
I will take the tour with you. Loan us a couple pop guns.
All right. We'll gear you up as soon as we're done here.
So what did the officer mean in his response? A. We'll show you the plan of the operation. B. We'll give you everything you need for the operation. Matt said, "We'll join you, loan us some pop guns." Pop guns are toy guns actually. Even though Matt is joking, he's actually asking for some extra equipment they would need. That's why B is correct. We'll gear you up means we'll prepare you, we'll give you everything you need. The next idiom in this dialogue is to be the tip of the spear. For your better understanding of the meaning, spear is a weapon with a metal blade at the end. The tip is the very end of that blade.
The tip of the spear means a person or group of people that is the first to do something considered difficult or dangerous.
Now, Matt, you can be the tip of the spear, and we don't have to rob a guy from Delta.
So it means that Matt and his group, including Kate and Alejandro, should be the first one to get involved if the operation escalates and becomes dangerous. Another idiom in this dialogue is the shit hits the fan.
When the shit hits the fan, when the shit flies, a situation suddenly causes a lot of trouble for someone.
Delta, if you can identify yourself so everyone knows who to hide behind if shit hits the fan.
On what condition the officers should hide behind Delta? If the situation becomes unbearable or if the situation becomes dangerous.
Anyone not in this room is a potential shooter. Be alert, be vigilant, and be aware. Let's go.
The officer points out how dangerous it is and asks them to be alert, which means to be quick to see, understand, and act. Be vigilant means be careful to notice things, especially possible danger, and be aware to know what is happening around.
I'm not authorized to follow orders from Alejandro, especially in Mexico.
Fine, then stay here.
A key element of Sicario's storytelling is its strategic use of mystery and the withholding of information.
I just want to know what I'm getting into.
The audience, much like Kate, is kept in the dark about the true nature of the mission and the full extent of the characters' motivations. This deliberate ambiguity creates a sense of disorientation and curiosity.
Bridge is 1 click out. Road is clear. Hot footed, gentlemen.
Bridge is 1 click out. Klick is a kilometer. Hot-footed is a phrase, means rush, go as quickly as possible.
What are we doing?
They captured someone and also killed people in Mexico.
That was f***ing illegal. You want to start a war? You're a fucking spook.
That's why Kate is pissed and says it was illegal. She's the one who always follows the protocol and can't accept that kind of behavior. She calls Matt a spook. In American English, it means a spy. In his reply, Matt uses an idiom, sell yourself short.
Sell yourself short, to not consider yourself to be as valuable or good as you deserve.
I'm not a soldier. This is not what I do.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. The reason Rezzy's home is I know he wasn't ready for this.
So what he wanted to say by don't sell yourself short, do not undervalue your abilities or do not show me how good you are. He also mentions her partner was not there because he wasn't ready, but she is. So by don't sell yourself short, he means do not undervalue your abilities and experience. But we know the real reason why they didn't want her partner in the operation from the very beginning. Then Matt uses the idiom shake the tree.
Shake the tree, to make someone react, arouse to action.
What am I doing here?
What you're doing here is you're giving us the opportunity to shake the tree and create chaos.
She gives them the opportunity to do what? To provoke someone into action or send someone a message.
In the meantime, just sponge everything up you see. Learn. That's why you're here.
At this point, I had another question. What exactly do they need her for? She's not acting as liaison, yeah? She questions everything they do. Why do they keep her then? What she has to learn? More questions than the answers. Looks like Kate is the central character, but is she now? And that's what I meant by a story from an unusual perspective.
Now we're trying to find out what areas near there migrants avoid so we can find the tunnel.
Kate and her partner question Matt and Alejandro about the real reason of the whole operation.
We are going to make enough noise that Manuel Diaz is called back to Mexico to see his boss.
And they reveal it partially, but only after Kate threatens to leave. Why is she that important? And after that questioning, Matt makes fun of Kate's bold move.
Just don't keep us in the dark. You're afraid of the dark.
Hey, been a humdinger of a day.
It's been a humdinger of the day. Humdinger means something very exciting, impressive, or enjoyable. Obviously, it's a sarcasm. Examples. Humdinger of a problem, humdinger of a speech. A long journey turned into a humdinger.
CIA is not supposed to work this side of the fence. You need somebody watching your six, because I promise you they are.
Watch your six is a military term that means watch your back. By pointing on the clock time, military people indicate their position. If it's 3, it's to your right. If it's 9, it's to your left. 12, it's in front of you. And 6 is behind you. Then Kate uses the idiom scratch the surface in her response.
Scratch the surface means to deal with only a small part of a subject or a problem.
We're not even scratching the surface, doing what we're doing. And they are.
So what is she saying exactly? Kate and her partner cannot trust Matt and Alejandro. Kate and her partner have no clue how to find the criminal. If you scratch the surface, it means you are not going any deeper. So you know only a small amount of information, but not enough to understand or solve something. So B is correct.
You got any friends at Phoenix SWAT? We are going to with Manuel Diaz's wallet.
They found the border drug tunnel, which is also used by Mexicans to cross the US border illegally, after they pay money to a drug dealer.
If she tries to eat that deposit receipt, you Heimlich it right out of her, you hear me?
Copy that.
What is Matt talking about? What is Heimlich? The Heimlich maneuver is a first aid method for choking. It's also known as abdominal thrust because the method involves thrusting into the abdominal area.
They just seized $17 million.
They captured the woman and froze the accounts, but they don't want to arrest the guy because they have something different in mind. What we still do not know, including Kate, who still wants to do everything by the book.
I want to follow some semblance of procedure. That's what I want, to build a prosecutable case.
In their response, the agents use the idiom "stir the pot," explaining why the criminal cannot be arrested now.
Stir the pot means deliberately agitate a situation to cause trouble.
Advisors like Matt stir the pot that cause the criminals to react and make mistakes.
So what guys like Matt do by stirring the pot? A. Intentionally cause problems. B. Intentionally make mistakes. I believe you got it totally right. People like Matt intentionally, deliberately cause problems, troubles, and wait for the reaction to strike. Now we have a bit clearer picture of what the whole operation is about. To reassure Kate completely, he uses the idiom "out of bounds."
Out of bounds means beyond any established boundaries or prescribed limits.
So if your fear is operating out of bounds, you are not. The boundary has been moved.
It's not easy to understand what he means because he's not fully open with Kate. He doesn't really tell her, break the rules, it's fine, we are not here to follow the procedure. But at the same time, he says the limits, the boundaries have been moved. But he doesn't mention how far. Even if it's beyond boundaries, it's still right, still acceptable.
I need a fucking drink.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere.
Kate is confused and angry at the same time. Still, like us, she doesn't know what they are planning exactly, what her real role is in the operation, who is Alejandro and why he is there. The film is filled with tense, suspense, violence, and vulnerability. It's one of the best Villeneuve's movies, with great acting and amazing soundtrack. It treats its audience with respect by raising more questions than the answers, so we can draw our own conclusions. You will definitely enjoy watching it. Please write in the comments your reactions. For your listening and reading practice, the movie podcast review is coming next Thursday. Hit me the like for the video and see you in the next lesson.
I'm gonna tell everyone what you did.
That would be a major